So, you're thinking about breaking into the North American market. Well, today we're building your strategic blueprint for doing business in Canada, and we're looking specifically at what things will look like in 2026. All right, let's get right into it. First things first, let's talk about scale. Just look at this number. That's Canada's estimated GDP for 2026. We're not talking about a small player here. This is one of the world's most stable and significant economies, a powerhouse in the G7.
But, the real magic isn't just the market inside Canada. This, right here, is the game changer. Through its free trade agreements, like CUSMA, which connects it to the US and Mexico, a Canadian company becomes a launchpad, a gateway to an unbelievable 1.5 billion consumers. That's your potential market. It's huge.
So, what is it that makes Canada's offer so attractive on the global stage? Let's break down the core advantages that keep putting it at the top of the list for the best places to do business.
It's really a powerful combination when you think about it. You've got one of the most educated workforces on the planet, so talent isn't an issue. The corporate tax rates are genuinely competitive. You get that critical duty-free access to the U.S. market, a predictable legal system that's easy to navigate, and, this is key, immigration programs built specifically to bring in entrepreneurs like you.
Okay, this is where the real strategy kicks in. You have to understand that Canada isn't just one big market. It's a collection of very distinct, very powerful regional economies. Deciding where you set up shop isn't just about finding an office. It's probably the most critical decision you'll make for your entire business.
Let's start with the big one. Ontario, with Toronto as its beating heart, is the undisputed financial and industrial engine of the entire country. This is where the big banks, the big deals, and the big money live.
The environment here is definitely high stakes, high reward. Yeah, you're going to pay the highest commercial rents in the country, no doubt about it. But what you get in return is unmatched access to venture capital and a super deep pool of specialized talent. If you're in fintech or advanced manufacturing, this is your world.
Now, let's head all the way west to British Columbia. You should think of Vancouver as North America's front door to Asia. It's a vibrant hub that's all about green technology, digital media, and, of course, international trade.
The whole vibe here is innovation and sustainability. It's a world leader for green startups. So what's the catch? Well, the cost of living is extremely high, which pushes up wage expectations. And finding affordable industrial land, well, that's a real challenge.
All right, let's pivot to something totally different. Quebec, and Montreal in particular, gives you this really unique mix of European culture and North American hustle. It's an absolute powerhouse in high-tech research and development.
Now, here's the deal with Quebec, and it's really interesting. Yes, you absolutely have to be ready to operate in French. That's non-negotiable for the local market. But the trade-off is huge. You get some of the lowest operating costs in North America and incredibly generous tax credits for R&D. That's exactly why it's become a global hub for AI.
Now let's head to the prairies. For decades, Alberta has been Canada's energy capital, famous for its can-do, entrepreneurial spirit. But now it's also diversifying fast into new sectors like agricultural technology.
The business case for setting up in Alberta is crystal clear. It really is all about the numbers. It has the lowest combined corporate tax rate in the entire country. There's no provincial sales tax at all, and there's plenty of affordable office space. If you're looking for a cost-effective place to set up your headquarters, Alberta has to be at the top of your list.
And finally, let's go to the East Coast, to Atlantic Canada. This isn't just one province, it's a whole region working together. They're building a reputation as the ocean supercluster, and they've got serious government support behind them.
This region's entire strategy is built around growth. It offers the lowest operational costs in Canada, period. And programs like the Atlantic Immigration Program are designed to make it super easy for businesses to bring in the global talent they need. It's a market that's hungry for new business.
Okay, so let's put it all on one screen. This table just lays out the strategic choice you have to make perfectly. I mean, look at the difference in office rent between Toronto and Calgary. It's almost double. But then look at Alberta's tiny 8% provincial tax. Montreal sits in the middle on rent, but has those amazing R&D perks. Each city tells a completely different story on your balance sheet. The question is, where does your story fit?
Right, so you've picked your hub. What's the next move? Let's get practical. Here's a stripped-down, three-step plan to take you from just an idea to a fully functioning Canadian company.
It really breaks down this simply. Step 1, plan your structure. A corporation is almost always the way to go for liability and tax reasons. Step 2, register. Going federal protects your name across the whole country. while provincial is a bit simpler if you know you're staying in one place. And step 3, taxes. You have to register for the national sales tax, GST or HST, as soon as your revenue hits $30,000.
Now, let's be real. Setting up anywhere new has its challenges. Canada is incredibly stable, but you need to go in with your eyes open and have a realistic view of the hurdles you might face.
First up, money. Canadian banks are famously cautious, much more so than their American counterparts. If you don't have a Canadian credit history, getting a business loan can be tough. So the strategy is to look beyond the big banks. You need to focus on government-backed groups like the Business Development Bank of Canada, or a BDC, whose entire mission is to help entrepreneurs get funded.
This next one catches so many people by surprise. Believe it or not, it can actually be easier to trade with the United States than with the province right next door. Every province has its own set of rules and certifications. So the big takeaway is this: never assume that a product approved for sale in Ontario is automatically good to go in Quebec. You have to check.
So, with all of that on the table, let's do one last check. These are the final must-ask legal questions to make sure your blueprint for Canada is solid.
Okay, please don't miss these points. They're critical. 1. Yes, as a non-resident, you can own 100% of a Canadian company. 2. But if you incorporate federally, a quarter of your directors have to be resident Canadians. And 3, and this is the most important one, owning the business is not the same as having the right to work here. You still need to get a separate work permit to actually run your company from inside Canada.
From its incredible market access to its collection of powerful regional economies, Canada is packed with opportunity. But success? Well, that comes down to matching the right strategy to the right region. So, looking at everything we've covered, the final question is for you. Is your strategy Canada ready?